Sam, 4-1 defeat at home to Bradford Park Avenue. What's the mood like down there in that dressing room?
Well, for myself, very angry. You know, we're right in the game, started well, which is what we wanted to do. Said about getting a reaction from on Tuesday, and right up until the sending off, we thought we started well. The goalkeepers made a good save, but to go and do what we did was just stupid, and obviously you're up against it then.
That was the decisive moment, wasn't it? The sending off. What did you make of it?
It's a sending off. It's a sending off. I won't hide behind whatever the linesman. It's a sending off. So, and it kills us, you know. The captain of the team goes and does what he did. It's not good enough.
We said the same. We thought it was a sending off. We saw it well, especially Ian. And the ball's 20 yards upfield as well.
Yeah, there's no need to do it. You know, it's just stupid. There's no other word for it. We don't need to do that. We spoke before the game about concentrating, about being organised, about being hard to beat. And as much as we want to try and play good football, which is I thought we started the game well, like I said, but if an individual wants to go and do that, then it makes it hard for you. Because, to be honest, after that, look, we got to half time and we stayed in it a little bit and we were okay. We just tried to get through to then and look to see what we could do to change it round. So obviously we wanted to bring John on and try and get balls up to him and Jordan and get midfield players, trying to support that one. But then we go and give two stupid goals away again, you know. Alright, the third one's a great strike. Sometimes you've got to hold your hands up and say, fine. But the second one's a little 1-2, it's right down the middle of the pitch again. And then the last one is just really poor, really poor. Same thing, right down the middle of the pitch. And we've got to do better. I thought my three midfield players were excellent. The work rate. And I know the fans have obviously disappointed on Tuesday, disappointed after that. But in terms of when we're going forward, in terms of attitude of midfield players and full-backs to go and join in, and like Jordan Burrow, you know, his attitude. But until we stop giving goals away, then we've got a problem.
We'll come on to the forward play and some of the good things that happened in that second half in a second. Two more things really about the Joe Tate sending off. He gives away a penalty as well, which makes it even more stupid, really doing it in the penalty area. Yeah. What happens to him now? Does he get reprimanded by the club?
Yeah, he will, fine? Yeah, and the maximum I can find him, I will. I'm not happy about that. You know, as a captain of the team, he's got to set a good example to everybody else. So I'll find out what I can find him, and the most I can find him, I will find him, because he's let the team down today.
You started off so slowly as well in the second half, giving away that second goal. That really killed you as well, didn't it? You talk about the third being a world-class strike, which it was. They could have scored that against anyone.
Yeah, if it's that type of goal, then sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and go, okay, you know, it's a great strike from the lad. But the other ones are stuff that you get taught. The second one and the fourth one are goals. The situations that we're in, I got taught that when I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? These are professional football players at a good club where they get looked after by the chairman, and they're in a good environment. The kit that we get every day with Under Armour, the training ground's outstanding. They get fed every day. We go on nice buses. We stay in nice hotels. But when it really boils down to it, if that's the way you want to go and defend, then I need to get somebody who can go and defend properly. Lots
of fans getting in touch with us over the last few games really saying, why does Sam keep changing the team? Is that why you're having to change the team? Because you're seeing these mistakes from these players?
Yeah. I think generally, sometimes I've changed it round because I think I've spoke before about when we've played against, there's so many different styles and formations, but at the end of the day, when it really boils down to it, and I put it on the board in the dressing room, it's about you playing against whoever you're playing against and making sure you come out on top. And you'll get taught that on a field on a Sunday morning with your mates, by your manager, under 11s, you know, you go and get the better against who you're playing against. And I said to the players today about if we get 9 or 10 players who do that today, we've got a chance. Well, right in the heart of the pitch where it really matters, we didn't do that today.
In an ideal world, would you like to try and keep the same team or a more settled team?
Well, yeah, that's what I have to do. I know what areas of the pitch where I don't need to change it, and it's there for everyone to see. You know, like I say, I think Adriano Moke he was outstanding. Lewis Hawkins' debut, that was exactly what I know, because I know the lad. You know, I've worked with him for a long time, and that's what he's going to give us. But sometimes I must be looking over the shoulder, thinking, "Come on, are you going to help me?" You know, that's what I'd be doing. Because if I'm playing in that team, I'm letting them down, and that's what we can't have. We need everyone to stand up and fight, fight and scrap. and be brave, you know, and do things right. Do your job. You are paid by this football club to go and do your job. And if you can't do it, then I'll go and get someone that can.
I know you've only been here this season, but what we're seeing now is what York City fans have been seeing for the last 2 or 3 years, and it has been said with quite a lot of the same players. They just keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
What could be done about it?
I'm in a really fortunate position because I'm manager of this club now at this moment in time, and I intend to do everything that needs to be done to make sure that we get it right. And if it happens overnight or whatever it is, then great. If it takes time, it takes time. But I will do everything in my power to get it right, because first and foremost, the way that these players get looked after by the chairman who puts his money in, he deserves it. He deserves it. And I spoke to him today and I said, look, I will do everything that I possibly can. But at the end of the day, if the players can't do it, I have to go and find players that can. And I'm 8, 9 players today. I can't fault them. You know, their attitude, as I said. Shaun Newton's flying up and down the line. He had a bit of an argument with a fan the other day. But you watch him today, that's exactly what I want to see. We're down to 10 men and he is prepared to run up and down that touchline for 90 minutes. The goal, Adam Bartlett takes a goal kick. Andre Adamoke is tracing a lost cause right into it's going out for a goal kick, and he still chases it. You know, it's all these types of things that you need. Jordan Burroughs playing up front on his own with no one around him. And if you spoke to their 2 centre halves today, they know that they've been in a game. If you spoke to their centre forward today, does he know he's been in a game? Maybe not.
Are you able to make those changes? I know you've got a new player in today.
Well,
is the money there? Are you able
Dan
to?
Parslow's knocked on my door a couple of times, and I've kind of said, you've got to be patient. If he comes and knocks on my door on Monday, I'm saying make sure you're ready next Saturday. Because if I can't rely on other people, then I have to change it.
Let's talk about Lewis Hawkins. I know you brought him. What more can you tell us about him that we didn't see today?
That's his game. You know, that's what he's about. Full of energy, puts his foot in, wants to get on the ball, and that for a debut, that's pretty good. You know, I've known him since he was 16 years old, probably younger than that. So I know what he's about, and I know what he can do. And he's technically good, but one thing he's got is a bit of fight and a bit of spirit. But you can't do it on your own. You need everybody to be that way.
And it's a loan deal. Do you know how long he's here for?
Yeah, he'll be here till January. Yeah, he can play in the FA Cup for us next week as well, which is great. Hartlepool, probably through my allegiances to them, were really helpful with that as well when I spoke to him, because of with Hezzy being injured, which is a big blow for us because he's been great. But he gives us that energy again, what we need, and he's got that. He's from quite a rough area of Middlesbrough, so he's got a bit of spirit about him and a bit of fight, which is what we need now. We need lads to come out fighting. We might go for a little spell now where it's not so much about how we play, it's about have you got that bit of character and that bit of spirit about you and that mental toughness to go and have a right go. Because we're on a good little run now. We've had obviously 3 defeats on the bounce, so we have to react and we have to bounce back and we have to fight and we have to put it right, because that's what football's like. You know, at any level it's like that.
He was playing in a midfield that included Callum Griffiths today. What was the thinking around moving him into an unusual role for him?
Yeah, and I thought he did well, to be honest. It's energy, and he wants to put his foot in right in the middle of the pitch. It's probably quite difficult for Russ, you know, 3 starts in 3 games, so we were just trying to freshen it up in terms of that. Russ has been great. He was really understanding in terms of the reasons why we did it, and Callum did really well up until feeling his groin. You know, I thought the 3 of them, the energy and the attitude with them 3 was outstanding.
You had a spell as well at 3-0 in this
game,
where we thought it was probably the best attacking play under your stewardship for 10-15 minutes until we got that 4th goal. And you could have had more than one.
Well, that's what we were hoping for. You know, we kind of said, look, there might be times in the game where, like second half, just stay in it as long as we can, because we'll get a spell in the game. But we made it obviously so difficult for ourselves, and we did. Was it for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, where we'd got them pinned in, which was quite similar to Spennymoor at the beginning of the second half. You know, we've got them pinned in there, and we had balls going in the box. We got on the end of a couple of headers. Shaun scored an outstanding free kick, which he's more than capable of. But when you put all that to one side and think about obviously what happened, then apart from the 3rd goal, I'm so disappointed. I need more.
We're led to believe that Fergus McCautry has today been released by the club. Is that true? What can you tell us about that?
It's just this, probably the situation that we're in now is that if I'm going to bring a player in, I'm bringing a player in who can improve the first team. You know, we've got a big squad as it is, and you can't afford. I mean,
has he tailed off since you first brought him in? 'Cause that was a bit of a shock to everyone.
that was the thing. If you go back to the Bratley game, and obviously he did really well on the day, and we've been trying to be patient with him to try and find his feet a little bit. But to be in all honesty, we're at a football club where you can't afford. We've got a squad of 25, 26 players, and I'd rather have 18 players that I can rely on who are going to go out there. You know, if in an ideal world, if you could have that, probably that little bit of time where you can work with them and develop them a little bit more, the younger players a little bit. But my job is to try and make sure that we put a team on a Saturday and a Tuesday that wins game, and he's probably lost his way a little bit again, and it's just one of them things. And I spoke to him today and I said, look, I like you as a lad, and I think you have got ability, and if I can help you try and get something fixed up somewhere else, then I'll do that, because he has got talent and he has got ability. But at this moment in time, my main focus is making sure we get back to winning out there on a Saturday and a Tuesday. That's pretty much as simple as it is.
Well, let's finish by talking about what happened out there on the pitch. The league table makes grim reading tonight for York City fans. The lowest that York City, I think, have ever been tonight in the football pyramid. 15th in National North, closer to the relegation zone now than the playoffs. Are you confident that you can turn this around with this set of players?
Well, if I get what I get today, like the big thing that we need to have is that commitment and that attitude. And in 8, 9 positions, I saw that today. What I was hoping to see, I saw that. And we need to make sure we get it right in other areas to make sure that we're solid and we're hard to beat. We had a run of 11, 12 games where we'd had 1 defeat. Now we've had 3 defeats on the bounce, and we've got to get back to that, and the sooner the better. Like I say,
you must be concerned though that the defeats are against teams that are higher up in the league.
Yeah, well, I said that. Yeah, I said that before last Saturday's game. I said, you know, it's an important week. These 3 games, a big game for us because of where the teams are in the league. I thought the Telford game, we don't concede in the last minute. We pick up a point. It's not a bad point. On Tuesday, we go to Spennymoor and get beat 3-0. You've got to hold your hands up and say, you know, we've got to do a lot better. And today, and it's the same, it's probably the same reoccurring thing that we're finding, you know, right in the heart of the pitch where it really, really matters. It's a big thing in what's letting us down, so I have to sort that out.
Obviously, you're playing a team next week, they're 2 divisions higher as well, but does the FA Cup provide a nice distraction for a week for you now?
Well, probably at this moment in time that it does, but I'm more concerned about us as a team and where we need to be better, because I don't want to let people down. I hate it. I hate losing football matches, and I hope that the players go home today, which I'm sure a lot of them will, and feel exactly the same, because it spoils your weekend. It spoils for a couple of days into next week. You build up to obviously what's coming next week as well. So it's just important now that we do the things that we need to do to try and get them ready for next week, and then at some stage it has to click with certain people in certain positions, and when it does, we'll be alright, because we can play decent football, we can create chances, but it doesn't mean anything if we can't defend that penalty area properly.